Coronau Podcast, Motivational Podcast, Season 2. Season 2, we actually going to bring the best spitters that we could find in Los Angeles County. You know what I mean? We're going to look through the cracks and crevices to find the best MCs. You know what I mean? And through the cracks and crevices, I ended up finding a dope-ass MC. You know what I mean? This guy has a caliber, you know what I mean, that is unspoken of.
Yeah.
Dope MC, heard him firsthand. My boy, Steadfast. Boop, 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 boop.
Yo, what's cracking, Whittier? What's cracking, my boy? What's good?
First question I asked, you know what I mean, which I asked all MCs which come up here, you know what I'm saying? I asked everybody this, you know what I mean, from the beginning. You know what I mean? What motivates you to do this rap shit today? Because we're going to take it from the beginning to now, right? When you just started to now. What motivates you every day to get up and get this shit called hip hop?
The main focus and motivation would be, it's a lifestyle for me. It's not something that I do. It's something that I am. When I first started, I was about 12, 13. That's when I started selling dimes on the corner and shit. And
hustler.
Yeah, little trying to be a little hustler and shit with all these grown ass fucking goons everywhere. And I remember everyone was always fucking battling. And
Where did you grow up?
Northeast LA, Glassell Park, Cypress Park, Frogtown area.
Reppin'.
Yeah. 323 Northeast Side. What up, Nella?
Let's get it.
All right, and that's pretty much, I was already on a Pac and Nas tip and, all the greats. But when you actually see that shit firsthand day in and day out, homeless people in front of your door and shit, fucking junkies everywhere, fucking cops every fucking day raiding people, that shit makes an impact. And that impact was hip hop.
Yeah, so you could say the streets motivated you. The streets, you know what I'm saying, motivated who you are, what you bring to the table, and you know what I'm saying. And how did you get your name, Steadfast? How did that come about?
All right, bro. I grew up as a little tag banger and shit. Graffiti was life and shit, and it still is. But I put it aside to do music. I used to go by Chosen from AWH. What up? What up, all my locals? What's up? What's cracking? But
Let's get it.
but really, well, it has something to do with being immovable, unshakable, and forever standing your ground no matter what. So I remember like maybe around 17, 18, 19, I was like, going between this name. Should I do the Tiger name? Should I make a whole new persona? And it just literally came to me one day when I was praying, and I felt like my name is Chris, but it's originally Christopher. If you look it up in some say the biblical or the Christian Bible, whatever, it means unmovable, unshakable, standing up for what you believe in no matter what. And that's what I feel was my calling. And ever since then, I've been ripping it up fucking about more than a third of my life under that name. Most people don't even know my actual name. They just know my Steadfast. Ball Tiger Fool, he raps.
Oh, yeah, so that's how I know him. I know him for Steadfast, you know what I mean? And one thing I do know about Steadfast is that this guy is an incredible spitter, incredible rapper. We had the opportunity to actually, you know what I mean, showcase our talent over there on Bars on Wheels. And my boy was, destroying shit. How was that experience for you going on Bars on Wheels and doing all that?
It was great. I mean, I do a lot of shows. I do a lot of touring, so I'm always around a lot of artists. But the difference between that day where I met you was fools were doing this supposedly at the top of their head. I heard a couple of lines where people were repeating it. We both heard that. But for the most part, like I was hearing fools rip it up, and I haven't seen fools doing off the top of the dome since like my battling days. So it was just like, it was refreshing. It was dope. But I would say the biggest highlight would be meeting you and meeting the crew of the Bars on Wheels. What up, Bars on Wheels? Shout out.
Bars on Wheels. Shout out to them, man, for having that platform for the MCs, man, coming up. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful platform, so shout out to them most definitely, you know what I mean? And, you know what I mean, when you actually went there and spit your shit, I know you went off the head. Let me elaborate a little bit off that. How did you become so good? Because listen, I have you recorded on my Instagram. I had this man recorded. I recorded his ass, and I didn't know he was that good. You know what I mean? Until, you know what I'm saying, the Instagram started blowing up, and I'm like, damn, this guy has some talent on him. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
So how did that come about where you actually started freestyling and started getting good, and you knew you were good at it?
All right, that would have been about, I would say like 14 or 15. I started doing E. I don't know. It's part of it. So I started doing E and a lot. So I got really into freestyling, like fucking morning freestyling, afternoon, school, fucking nighttime, just freestyling. And I remember I used to go to these little battles and shit that there were literally where fools were slanging like dimes and nicks and shit, you know, hustling.
Yeah.
They used to have it by the laundromat. They used to have it at the park. They used to have it on the corner of just a grip of fools just fucking battling and freestyling. And that's when I fucking knew, when I was going up against fools in their mid-20s and I was holding my weight. A skinny-ass little fucking fool with fucking shaved head, little tiger and shit, against grown-ass fucking MCs, like just eating up fools. But I seen where I could grow and I seen what I had to do. And that's what I would say the next 15 years of my life is critiquing it and getting better and sharpening that blade.
Hey, he got that shit sharp. It's super sharp.
We trying.
You know what I mean? Hey, that tongue is sharp, man, and this guy will cut anybody. And I mean, I got some money on this dude, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and this is the reason that we brought him on the Coronau podcast, because like I said, we're going to showcase people's MCs talent, the new MCs from Los Angeles coming up, the people that can be heard. We're going to bring them to the podcast and we're going to, you know what I'm saying, showcase their talent. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? We're going to get right to it. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get right to it, and we're going to show people what you about, what you bring to the table. I feel like it's only right. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Steadfast. Let's get it. Coronau podcast, motivational podcast. Coronau podcast, motivational podcast. Steadfast. Let's get it.
Yeah. Let's go. All right. Big shout out to Northeast LA. Nala, what up on my fam? 323. What up, Nilos? Thank you, my boy Hawk. Shout outs. Here we go. Yo, I speak it with that aggression, tension inside, before I keep it all alive, like the tip of my mind, before I'm ripping these rhymes, when I'm kicking these lines, it's a part of my mind, it's part of design, divine, divinity, destiny, inside of me with tendencies, that's the recipe, like Big Pun taught me how to use a big tongue, and how to go and use my big slums to show that, certain types of facts I don't hold back, hold cats, now what, I gotta roll past, the certain little bitches are mainstream, saying the same things, now what, you afraid, G, to talk about the realness? I feel this with the ill Chris, ill lips. That's me, ill Chris is real G. Now I try to go and calm it down. I'm a real poet at heart before I'm underground, with the thunder sound coming from heavens now. Before I got that one tension bound, I got aggression found, like I said before. But half of my might's from the mighty Lord. Up above I extort how to swing his sword, and everything I do now I try to morph like a little bit of what? I put it in mix. Now I got the little Kool-Aid with my liquor and shit. If you wanna go and find, I need some THC. Up on the lines with the remedies, yes indeed. I got the ADHD that gets me indeed with stress, anxieties. But now I'm blessed to see how I'm gonna go and kill it with the certain unique. I got the chemicals inside of my veins since I was 3. They used to put amphetamines within my inhaler and see I would be moving around from the thunder one sounds into the certain types of ones in the LA rivers. We used to look at the frogs before we try to deliver a certain bullets away from our head, but I shivered when I would hear the drive-bys of my shit ride by on my one Glock with the Glock. Now I try to slide. My mom used to say hit the floor, so I used to say now I want some more. Certain gats in the guns with the max for fun, before I need them all black, cause you know it's bustin'. Time when you say you suggesting where the fuck I'm from, but I ain't just frontin'. I put the 323 on my back. I am steadfast, steady at last, so pass. And in the aftermath, when I'm at the grave, they're like, damn, he blazed that. And that's the same with everything that I do, every scene I pursue. I'm a king when I threw this. I drew the line like my name was Blade. Now I'm on the crusade to kill all you motherfuckers that lie. Before I've always been destitute, I use this one solitude, and now I fuse this with the rude shit, the crudeness. You foolish little bitches always try to deny. Well, me, I'm always chilling by my side, trying to get high with my certain type of rhymes that I try to inscribe like hieroglyphics. I'm from that certain type of fallen of the city angels. Before I'm from that certain 323 with devils have those hollows. Yo, first is first, you big Pac. No, I'm gonna pop you like Papa Dot. How many fools you know? Now it's off the Glock. Where your top it's soft, where your head it's off. Yo, you wanna speak some? I got the reason. What I'm believing every certain day, breathing in and out. And even though I'm asthmatic, I still spin it like in and out. And all the faggots always up in line every day. Well, me, I'm using all dismay within my Mayday mainframe to go and speak this, the ill strains that you're gonna feel like 20 years later. So fuck the new fads and fuck the ill kids. They don't speak facts, it's only cap in. Well, this is a caption, kick your fucking ass in. When you come against me, frontin' I'm masked in. A certain black, certain type of aware. Used to grow like, yo, I used to grow big balls on the streets and impaired. Now I fucked up on shrooms and I truly can dare with the LSD and on jealousy before I'm balancing for my one damn life. Yeah, I gotta pledge it to that light before I see the devil on my shoulder try to take me down. They hate my sound, but can't break it now, cause I'm amazed now with the amazing crown. Now I put it to my left and I represent the West. And even though I'm stressed, I don't stay depressed. I press another album, I got 3 more coming now, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Soak the floor like another whore hitting me up from Facebook to now the next one. Saw the certain social plans of the IG live on the TV. Can't hide me before you try to go and say suicide G is gonna be for me. Well, that's the old me, boldly, holy, speaking what I gotta do, speaking every day before I gotta go pursue within me, cause I stay alive. I'm like guts in the certain type of a Zurich series. And if you know someone swinging alive before I gotta go and be like Surrey, fuck you, that's the new world order. And I don't live in that disorder before I gotta go and be the porter of all the truth against the government, because they made the covenant with Lucifer and now the devil sent within every one of the lies. Let me despise, well let me go and sit back and write these certain time rhymes I don't need to say. I'm kinda like Jay-Z or Wayne, cause I go display on the certain one stage and I set a blaze. So when you say his name, that's me, her flame. And that's a R.I.P. to the people who battle me. I handle thee, knock you off your fucking saddle, see, off your high horse. Because me, of course, gonna do this now. No remorse when I'm killing MCs up on the block. They say, please stop, now I gotta go and rock a certain type of flow, a certain type of style. Give it on my soul before I say no denial. Running longer, more smooth than like the Nile of the Egypts. Now what, I be quick when I gonna be like that eclipse across your fucking lips, cause you can't say shit when we spitting on the block, cause I keep going off. I'm more softer and more off like down block with a certain suppressor. I love that shit. My uncle taught me how to bless that tip with a certain type of 45 or 38. So let me contemplate how I escalate, how I demonstrate like what's on my plate, and how I facilitate and calculate the math. And what I wanna go and make the pie from all the crumbs. I build another cake like Croak, now we got it bummed. Out of me is never there. Before I gotta say it's just not fair. Coming against me, it's like an enemy who dares himself in that mirror trying to suicide. But I don't do or die, I'd rather do the ride, I'd rather do the time. And if that's that, the homicide, then let it be. I'm blessed MCs.
Steadfast, man. Killing the mic, man. Not anybody can come up here. Not anybody can come up here and touch this mic, man.
Yeah.
You gotta be at a high caliber. You gotta come correct. You gotta be working. Not just because you rap, you don't think you can come up here and rap. Nah, you gotta be working. We gotta scout you out. My man Steadfast is working. We're actually gonna elaborate a little bit about what he's doing. You know what I mean? The tours he has coming up, the albums that he has come.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about that.
All right.
Getting into that. Please let everybody know about your social media, where they can find you, where they can find your music. Let them know about that.
I'm on all platforms again. Spotify, iTunes, Tidal. That's what I'm really fucking with. People around the world really seem to be resonating with those 3 platforms, so I'm going to keep it live like that. Everything's under Steadfast Raw. That's STEAD, Fast Raw, RAW. You'll see my bald head. You'll see me, but like, that's the fool.
And guys, you know what I mean? Make sure you follow him. Make sure you hear this man's music. This guy is incredible. Not anybody can come up here and really freestyle off the top. You know what I mean? That's what we're looking for. We're looking for talented people. And he's one of those talented people that came up here and killed this shit. You know what I mean? So Steadfast, man. You know what I mean? For people that haven't seen you live, I always ask this question to the MCs that come up here. You know what I mean? What can people look forward to when they see you live in a live show? I want you to sell that. I want people to know what to look forward to when they see Steadfast on the live performance.
Fucking dope ass questions, my boy. Thank you for even asking them. For me, I always make it a point and an issue that everybody in the whole club or the whole room, how many, whether fucking 10, fucking 100, 1,000, whatever it be, that they remember my name by 3 ways. So I have old music, current music, and new music I perform at every set. So if I have a full 20-minute set and shit, so I'll pretty much do 3 songs of old, 3 songs of current, and 3 songs coming up. And I have that shit on lock, shuffleboard, back and forth. And always do 2 songs that are pretty much a freestyle. And then I always do what I like to call the free acapella, which I'll go into the crowd and be like, yo, throw out some words, throw out anything you want, and I'll go off of that. And then we
That's dope.
fucking have the interaction with each other, and people seem to really resonate with that.
That's super. Hey, listen, yo, hey, I haven't seen that. Hey, I need. Yo.
Oh, you got free tickets.
No. Hey, no, yeah. we need to come see my boy Steadfast. To, you know what I mean? Because this is incredible. He's talking about actually giving you guys a real performance, interacting with the crowd.
Interaction.
And that's what it takes sometimes to interact with the crowd, interact with the audience. You know what I'm saying? Cheers to you, my brother.
Let's do it. Cheers.
Thank you so much for coming. My boy MC1 on the back of the mic.
MC1.
You know what I mean? He's actually going to come up here very soon and freestyle and show you guys what he got. You know what I mean? But besides that, Steadfast, you know what I mean? For people that haven't really got to know you, you know, let people know, you know what I'm saying, when you were in high school, you know what I mean? Did you ever start with a crew, or did you start by yourself rapping? How did that go about?
Well, my first crew was fucking graffiti and dealing. So that's all we did was fucking sell drugs, do graffiti, put up paint. So there was fools in the crew that always, you know, they had their homies fucking around the block, over the hill, over across the city that they always rap. So we're always having parties and kickbacks. We had our trap houses going on. So there was always fools battling, always having that type of, you know, I wouldn't say camaraderie, but just back and forth, that type of fire and shit going between different crews and cliques. But I would say what really started it off would probably be by myself, just getting out there. Like I had a couple people that did put me on a couple shows, and then that led to everything else. Like my first big show was with Coronau, and that was at the Key Club. And that shit was, they
Shout out to Coronau.
Yeah, Coronau, what up? If you remember, my boy, what up? I've been following you, Sick Jack. All you do is put it down, my boy. So like I said, that was really the first time I really got a taste for it. And that show was like over 750, and that was like the last 3 to 6 months of the Key Club. Rest in peace, Key Club. Wow. If you guys remember that, that's old school LA hip hop. That's like where Biggie and Pac were fucking doing it and shit.
Wow.
So when that happened, I got like 3 or 4 promoters that would start fucking with me. Then I got on tour with, went on tour with King Little G.
Oh wow!
And then Reverie was, she was like for 2 or 3 of the shows of that tour, and then that led to fucking the next. Let's see, I've done 7 tours.
Wow!
Out of the state. So when I go, let's see, I'm going to Denver. So this is gonna be my 8th tour I'm going back on.
So let me ask you a question about that. Let me ask you a question. How do people gravitate towards you out of state? How do people, when obviously you're from Cali, but when you go out there and spit, how was that? I mean, feeling to spit in another state?
All right, I'll answer both. So when you leave, just like you, when you leave your area, people automatically, all right, this fool's not from around here. He's from Cali, but they're like either fucking Oakland or LA. They always say it's either two. I was like, all right. So that's always a fucking. Even when I was in Philly, DC, and Baltimore, shout out to all you fucking real spitters in fucking Philly, DC, and Baltimore.
I heard Philly, yeah.
Dog, yeah, it's almost intimidating.
Hard.
Yeah. So, I was just. You know, I was just more glad than anything not getting fucked with by any. I've only had 1 incident since I've ever toured. And, you know, we got into it, whatever. But as far as, you know, there's always going to be haters and always fools, you know, talking shit behind your back and shit like that. Fool. Yeah, it is what it is. But as far as that, it was just pretty much just me doing my thing, feeling the vibe. And I've always wanted to get out of the hood. That was my main thing. I was like, I want to do something with my life where I'm fucking constantly getting at. You know, Cali's dope. You know, I'm not going to say that LA's dope. But there's so many places. And let's see, I've been, I did this math the other day. All right, so I've done 9 states in America and 32 cities.
Wow.
Besides LA. So when I say another city, I don't consider my county or anything like that. Like I don't count like Hollywood, then LA, and then South Central. I say like LA. That would be an LA show. Besides
LA, what was the most memorable city that showed you the most love out of LA?
All right, so that's a mixed view because probably the biggest, most loved show that I ever been at was a King Little G show, and that was in Anaheim. But that wasn't me. That was, you know, I was opening it for him. So shout outs to King Little G, my boy. If you're watching, what up, dog? Props. You fucking. I've seen the progress in this last fucking 7-8 years. Props, homie. Other than that, fucking, it would be a show that I did in. Probably Philly. Fuck, dude. It was like 5 years ago. It was called The Box something.
Dope.
I don't want electro box or some shit like that. It was in the downtown nightclub district and shit. And pretty much I knew nobody. I knew the producer and I knew the promoter. And I got 2 shows off of that show, and it was like a good 70 to 80 people crowd. And just hip hop heads actually listening to bars, actually listening to songs. That was probably the best experience besides my own experiences in LA. I'm saying like out of the city, it would probably be like Philly.
Philly, wow. Philly, yeah. Philly has the reputation to have the, you know what I'm saying, dope MCs. These motherfuckers out there in Philly, man, they eat, they shit hip hop, man, they rap, they MCs out there. You know what I mean? So shout out to Philly, man. They doing their fucking thing out there. You know what I mean? But getting back to Cali and Cali MCs, my man Steadfast, man. He's a true spitter. Definitely a Cali representative to the most high. You know what I mean? Let people know if you have merch, where they can get your merch. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Because I know you have some stuff out there too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dog, all day. So pretty much if you want to order anything, I got beanies, I got sweaters, and I got shirts. I got about 7 logos right now registered under my brand. So you can go to IG right now under Only One Steadfast Raw and go down, scroll through my shit, and you'll see the logos that, it'll say beanie logo, or it'll say, the definition of whatever I'm trying to fucking hustle. So hit me up. Don't be shy. If you want to get a couple and shit, I'll even break you off some dope ass fucking prices and shit, New Year's coming, new prices coming, fucking charging more for verses. Everything's going up, just like the economy. Fuck Biden.
You know what I mean? Hey, and let me tell you something, man. This guy, his price went up when I seen him rap on that on that Bars on Wheels, man. This guy has a elaborate tongue, man. He spit, I'll spit you, man, and I put money on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? And to let people know, man, I want to let people know a little bit about your background. You know what I mean? We don't have a lot of time, but I want to let people know about your background, your origin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where you coming from? What's your origin? You're Mexican, Mexicano?
I'm Mexican and I'm Spaniard.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I got the
Talk a little bit about that, your background.
I grew up in LA, born and raised in LA. So obviously, fucking, when I go to Mexico, they just say Americano. They don't even, yeah. But so grew up in LA, Northeast LA, Glassell Park, Cypress Park, Frogtown. That's fucking my origin, which is right there by the LA River. People most know it by there. The 5, the 2 collide. There's fucking Dodger Stadium. That's fucking all my hood and shit. So fucking grew up pretty much broken family. Lived with my dad's in his trailer, lived with my mom in the Section 8s, and then I lived with my grandparents in the little fucking dilapidated little trap house that my tío turned into a trap house. But that's pretty much my origin. So I was pretty much always by myself a lot. My parents were always fucking working. My dad had 2 jobs. My mom had like a 10-hour job and shit. So I was pretty much just always by myself. So I remember I would be always fucking bored and shit,
Yeah.
I would have my Super Nintendo and a VCR. You remember, that's pretty much. And after you play all the games and master them, and then you keep watching the same fucking movies over, you want to go outside, you want to do shit. And I always liked the literature, like poetry and shit, like Edgar Allan Poe and Pac. Like the rose that grew from concrete is a huge influence to me. And just people that I never even heard of from fucking 16th, 7th century writing about just like crazy ass shit,
Yeah.
And I always just picked it up. My mom used to buy me these fucking I don't even know. Do you remember those Reader Digest?
Yeah. 100%.
Like, you do? All right, yeah. So she used to buy me those shits, and every once in a while I'd be reading, some stories, and I would be like, yo, I like this poetry, or I like this philosophical phrase, and I was like fucking 6, 7, 8,
Yeah.
So by the time I was like 10 or 11 and 12, I seen everybody spitting at the park, everyone doing like, graph, graffiti, fucking spitting, fucking chilling and shit, It was already, I was like, oh, I think that was just like kind of cool. It wasn't even like, oh, I'm going to do this. It was kind of like, it was just there. So I was just like, it just fit with me and shit. That's a lot of things in life. When you have a passion for something, some things sometimes click.
Absolutely. And talking about that, talking about your passion, right? Talking about what you do and what you love to do, which is hip hop, which is rapping. You know what I mean? How are you going to take it to the next level next year?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? I know you say you have some tours going on. Remember, dog, this is a motivational podcast as well. We want to motivate the next artists, people that are watching you, right? That want to get inspired, just like Nipsey. Nipsey had that where he inspired a lot of people. You know what I mean? I take that to my heart always, and I take that with me always. So I want to be able to have the people that come here to this podcast motivate the next MC.
Yeah.
So I'm asking you that question. What are you gonna do and say to the next MC to motivate them to keep doing this shit if they want to give up?
Yo, first off, what he just touched on real quick is I had a chance to open up for Nipsey in 2014.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Before he was even, he started popping in like 15, 16. That's one regret that I will never fucking get over. And then you all know the story. 5 years later, he got murdered.
Yeah.
So, so I'm going back to
Nipsey
school.
Hussle.
RIP. I'm going back to school pretty much in April and shit, just for basic business and social media marketing. And that's how we're going to take shit to the next level, the professional level, and start getting at some real rec execs with the right criteria behind me. And that's the real plan. I got 2 tours coming up. First one's in March. It starts in Denver. I'm doing Colorado Springs. Then we're going to meeting them in Phoenix. Then We're doing Reno. And then we're doing, that's Nevada. What did she say? Reno, Vegas, and then we're ending in LA. So a little 6-city tour, 3-state tour. 3-state tour. So that's coming up. I got a new album coming out, which is a continued series. I have something called Steadfast Volumes Collabs. Volume 1, 2, and 3. The third one's coming out. It's just dope-ass spitters and me from people all over from DC to Philly to LA. And you can look for that pretty much in February. I also got songs that I'm pretty much dropping every 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks, all you got to go is on my page. You'll see where I'm at. Type in my shit on the platforms, and bam, homie, fuck with me, and I fuck with you all day.
Okay, name your stuff real quick before we end the podcast. I want people to get to know you and be able to look you up. So what is it? One more time.
All right, so you want to look at Steadfast Raw for everything musical, everything video, everything visual. So that's that. And then my IG, which is, I'm pretty much just fucking nowadays with IG and Facebook. That's only one Steadfast Raw. And you can hit me up at Chris Hernandez and shit, but I'm not really fucking with Facebook recently due to their new guidelines. But hit me up if you really want to work. My Gmail is only Steadfast Bookings with the S, bookings@gmail.com. All I do is work, make music, and write. Fuck with me.
Coronau Podcast, motivational podcast. Not only are we a podcast about motivation, we're gonna bring the hottest spitters to this shit, season 2. You know what I mean? Look out for the hottest spitters coming to motherfucking Coronau Podcast. We out here, baby. Steadfast. Let them know your last words, dog. What do you say to the people? Let's go.
Do this shit every day. Stand for something, live for something, and die for something, homie.
Coronau Podcast, motivational podcast. We're gonna bring this guy back. We're gonna bring him back. We're gonna bring him back so he can talk about everything that he's done. Look at what he's talking about right now. He's gonna do all this stuff. We're gonna bring him back when he's done it, and then he's gonna talk about it. And we're gonna freestyle a little more, baby. Coronau Podcast, motivational podcast, baby. Let's get it. Steadfast.